Hello, everyone. Hi, Octav. Welcome.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Claudia.
Hello. Hi, Daniela. Sorry, Octav.
I just wanted to thank everyone and ourselves for being here today in this soft space.
I'm so glad that we are together again. We should have been last Sunday, but actually we needed, both of us, we needed more space. Last Sunday we were traveling both, and we could not hold the space, so we just rescheduled for today. And thank you so much for being here in this space, the power of listening in the Hara Center Global, in order to continue together to explore this beautiful quality that we all have, and also that we all cultivate, inner listening and also outer listening. So welcome, everyone. And also, I say welcome to all of those who will come a little bit later or who will listen to the replay. And yes, let's do a very short and simple attunement as we used to, and to just enjoy together this Sunday consciousness. I love this energy of the day of the sun. And I invite you and invite us all to enjoy it, whether we can close the eyes and turn inside, or if it's not possible for you, just turn your attention inside and just feel this relaxation and this lack of planning and lack of rush, and just enjoying to do whatever we feel to do in the moment, and whatever we feel to say or to listen in the moment. And in these first moments of getting together in this space, let's just enjoy our inner space. That space where we are alone, actually, even though we know that never we are alone, actually. But in that space inside, we really are with ourselves, and it's so healthy and so beautiful, relaxing and assuring to stay there. And there is the space where we also, whenever we listen deep, 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 we realize that everything evolves in a cycle. So there we can remember that everything starts and has an end. Everything. Be it a relationship, be it a project, be it a job, be it a new stage in our life from whatever point of view. So everything has a cycle. So there in that space we may connect with the point or with the stage, with a step from that thing in our life where we are in. We may be in a beginning as the energy of the day. For those of you who work with the Gene Keys, the energy of Gene Key 53, where the sun is right now, reminds us about the new beginnings, beginnings in anything, in relationship with somebody outside, in relationship with a part of ourselves, with our body, with anything. Or we may be just in the core of a process. And it's also so alchemical and also so beautiful and healthy in a way to remember that we are in the midst of something. Or we may be really at the end of something. We may be at the end of a cycle. We may be even at the end of a relationship. And it is very useful for us to cultivate this inner contact with the stage of something that it is important for us. And we may do this in that space of our inner body and in the solar plexus, obviously, in the center of our body. So let's breathe a little bit there, and any process, any topic, any experience you are in right now, may it be fruitful for you. May it support and inspire you to awaken even more. So let's bow to our processes, to our experiences, to our life, to our body, to our inner child, to our inner space, to our one point there in the center of our being. And bring gratitude also to our divine self that reminds us of the gifts that we all have. And from there, from the hearth of our being, let's just turn now the attention towards the others who are now in the room and to those who will come afterwards. And feel the connection from the purity that we have there to the purity that all the other ones have in their one point. And let's invite the transmission, the wisdom, in order to make this 1 hour or so, when we will stay together today, to make it a very fruitful moment and inspiring for our becoming. Thank you so much. We may open our eyes. Welcome to everyone. And I will let Octav to give you his welcoming message and to introduce the topic for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. That was a very warm attunement, as always, I might add. So, hello again, everyone, and thank you for being here with us. Even if you are listening to this, after after a few days, we are happy to have you here, and we are happy to be here. First, I just want to mention the fact that this is a recorded session, so this will be available for listening afterwards. You can share it with anyone that you want to, or you can listen it yourself if you feel like it. So, that being said, we are very happy to be back on the Power of Listening, the English version. This is the first English room for Hara Center, as it was the first ever room in Romanian with the same topic, also from Hara Center. So this looks like everything starts with listening, for Hara Center at least, and who knows, maybe for us as well. Speaking of listening, today's topic, the granular topic on the higher theme of the power of listening, is how do we listen to answers? How do we listen to answers? So this, of course, may refer to a lot of things. It may refer to human interaction and how do we listen to the other in our interaction, in our conversation, but also how do we listen to the answers within ourselves and the answers from our environment that kind of flow our way on a daily basis. I guess it's important to mention that in order to have answers, there have to be some questions. So questions are part of this process of getting an answer. It's the first step, I think, or one of the first steps. For me, personally, I noticed that I'm getting answers even if I'm not aware that I'm asking that question. So I guess that a good way to start this conversation is to talk about the presence of asking the question, because I think that for me, at least, it's an important step when I feel like I need some answers, either it's from God or from a friend or from, I don't know, from myself. It's very helpful for me to understand the need behind that question, to understand what exactly am I after, to be aware of that. And from that space of awareness, of being connected to my needs, to myself, or to the others, because it depends on the question, of course. From that space of clarity, the answers come more clear. So what I'm trying to say is that the field that I'm being in when I'm answering that question, if it's clarity, if it's uncertainty, the answer resonates with my question. So for me, it's important to ask as many questions as I can from a space of clarity, and whatever that means for every one of us. For me, it means to be still. So stillness for me goes to clarity. Clarity helps awareness live within myself, and from this space, the answers will come a lot more clear and without any confusion. I'm gonna leave it like this because I have a few more topics that I want to explore. Before passing the mic to Claudia to hear her introduction to this topic, to her point of view, I just want to remind everyone that we are waiting for you here on stage. You just have to press that little hand from the application, and we will invite you on stage. It's very important for me and for this space, that you feel supported, that you feel safe to come here and just share yourselves, even if you're not 100% sure what you want to share. We encourage you to come on stage and do it anyway. So thank you for listening. Claudia, back to you.
Thank you, Octav. Thank you so much for opening even more the space and for sharing the topic and for all your reflections. And I would continue with a question. Actually, who is raising the question? Who raises the questions? Is ourselves doing this? Or are they coming from somewhere? Do they come from outside? Do they come from inside? Where do they come from? It's a series of questions, actually, And then, of course, I referring just a little bit because we have Thierry here with us, and I'm so eager to listen to your share, Thierry, so to leave space for you. But just a few more seconds. I noticed a long time from my life, I like to ask questions, to just launch them, you know. What is the real message for me in this situation? What do I need to learn from this? What do I need to see? What does this thing open to me or close for me? Or how may I do this thing in a different way? How may I perceive it in a different way, or something like that? And I used to launch many questions during a day, but I also noticed myself, how do I react when a message that might be an answer comes? And I noticed different reactions or responses. Many times, even though I consider myself to be open and fast learning a person and open to learn and so on and so forth, I noticed myself that in some moments when a message comes or an answer comes, actually I don't receive it fully. So I'm like receiving it, but down to one level. It may stop at the mind level, or it may stop in the throat gate, or it may stop in the chest, or something like that. But many times, really, I noticed that actually I don't listen to it fully until it really enters into my being and into my body. And when I noticed that, I was like, wow, there's a lot of fear here, or what is it? This contraction. So why am I so impatient? And why do I not listen till the end? Actually, why did I start already the action, or why did I make the decision already without having all the information or all the answers? It happened to me many times, you know. There are moments when I am open and I am really listening till the end, and I'm just struggling in order to have this deep patience, because maybe the answer comes not suddenly, but during a day or more in time, until I know that the answer is complete, let's say. But it's a practice. It's really a practice for me, at least. It's a topic that, I'm just experiencing, I'm practicing, I'm cultivating this quality of listening the answers to my own questions or to the questions coming from the others towards me. So thank you. There's a little share from me. Thank you for listening. And Thierry, I'm so glad that you are here with us. I pass the mic to you.
Oh, thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Octavian. It's always a blessing to have the chance to come and talk to you guys and everyone else listening as well. I felt called to share because recently I've been asking a lot of questions, and not questions directed to other people, not questions directed to myself, but questions directed to the universe, you know, to the self-resolving mechanism that we all kind of experience as the universe. And my question's been revolving around the solar plexus and what needs to happen, you know, for this work to be undertaken, what steps need to be taken. And the thing that came through the most powerfully for me in my life is that I have to make very, very strong efforts to clean out my gut. And when I got that message, I kind of reflected on it. I used discernment, and it kind of makes sense. I mean, the solar plexus and the gut, I feel, are pretty much in the same place, or same area in the body. So, and there's not too many ways of doing that, because the corruption that's in the world right now is so powerful and so strong that they kind of have certain chemicals that they use for a large portion of everything that we eat. And they also use it everywhere in our environment. So we're all kind of poisoned, and this is not helping for the work that we intend to do on the solar plexus. So my next question, of course, was, is there a solution? You know, and I asked for the solution to appear in my life, and I invite everyone here to do the same. Invite those solutions. There's not many of them, but there are some. And I asked, and a solution appeared that was correct for me in my life. And now I'm exploring that, trying to purify my gut, purify my body, because, you know, the foods that we've been putting in our bodies, it's not an easy fix. The chemicals that they're using on the foods, they're everywhere, and it's not an easy, like, you can't just get rid of them, like, you know, with a snap of a finger. It's a very devoted process, and there's not too many avenues, because the corruption has a very strong monopoly over the system, and everyone's kind of bought into it, and so it leaves us with very little options. But there are some. I've found one. Hopefully there's more, and then, you know, as people feel that that's the correct thing for them to do, because they want to step forward into this work, then they're gonna ask the question, and they're gonna get the answer. The universe is gonna support those who want to devote themselves to this, I feel. Yeah, I feel like that's the gist of it. Octavian talked about solutions and answers, and Claudia was talking about the solar plexus, although I had a little bit of difficulties with my listening, since my speaker wasn't working too well at the beginning of this call. And then with what you added also, you know, it's the willingness to listen to the message when it comes, you know, because these things that appeared to me, they come in divine timing, you know, they come when they are needed. You know, you can ask for something, and it's just the universe is not supporting that direction at that time. It's not going to give you your answer until it's ready to support that momentum in that direction. And I feel like the momentum for, you know, working on the solar plexus is here now. So I invite everyone to dive into it and explore that. Thank you.
Thank you, Thierry, for sharing with us. I just have two things, and maybe one question for you. So I loved it when you said that sometimes the universe does not work toward what we want, and when we ask a question, we do not receive an answer. But I think that in this case, no answer is actually an answer. So it really much depends on the perspective and what we expect as an answer, I guess. And the second thing, this is actually a question for you, if you feel comfortable of sharing. I'm curious if you feel comfortable of sharing, what is the answer that you received for cleansing your body?
It's basically a capsule that absorbs the glucosate that's basically sprayed on all of our food. That's really hard to get rid of in our bodies, in our gut. It's, even if you eat a lot of food that is healthy and isn't sprayed, there's just so much of it in our environment that without having a support of something binding to it and flushing it out of your body, it's very, very difficult. And it's many, many years of devoting yourself to eating very, very healthfully. And it's like I said before, because the corruption of the old system is so strong, they've kind of gotten too strong of a monopoly over the whole thing, that they're not just spraying it on the food, they're actually using it for everything else as well. So it's being used in our environment, and now it's there's too much of it. So without being able to flush that out, without something that's actively binding to these chemicals and flushing it out, it's almost like it's a losing battle. I don't know if you understand what I mean. That's what is appearing for me in that direction. Is something that appeared to me like a product that appeared to me when I asked, and now I've been trying the product for a little while now, and I'm feeling a lot better. It's so far it seems to me that it's working for me.
Thank you, Thierry. This is a topic that I'm also visiting, so that's why I was curious to which answer you came across. So thank you for sharing. Claudia, before passing the mic to Shannon, would you like to add something?
Yes, please let me know if you listen to me well, because I do not have my earphones. Yes?
Loud and clear.
Okay, wonderful. So Thierry, you have also in the chat, Sean wrote to you. He said a handful of cabbage a day, psyllium husk powder. I don't know what does it mean, but maybe you know. Both fiber, good for gut flush. Yeah, so thank you, Sean, for what you wrote in the chat. Thank you so much, Thierry, for all your share, and thank you for bringing this awareness there in that space in our solar plexus, and everything that we have there. Because yes, we have our stomach, but also we have many other organs there. So it's so important, especially now with this mutation, genetic mutation, that we are all in, to really put our focus there and to give ourselves more space and to slow down the rhythm, the pace, in order to listen to that space deeper. Because I also noticed, in my case, in my body, I'm also, from my design, for those of you who know human design, I'm an emotional projector. So for me, listening to the emotions really before going into action or making decisions is really crucial, is quintessential. So for me, it's so important. Anyway, but I think it's for all of us. So thank you for bringing the awareness to the solar plexus here in the space, because the awareness may be from the physical plane, of course. What do we eat really? What do we introduce into the system? And how do we do it? So there have been, I believe, 30 years now since I listened for the first time this to, I don't know if in English is correctly, but I will pronounce the expression, to sacralize the food and the eating, the gesture of eating, the whole experience of eating. So some people, they just pray, they say a prayer. I used to really use my words for that, thanking and bringing gratitude to all the beings in the body or not in the body, to all the angels and all the light beings who really contributed to that food and who made possible for me to have that food on the table and to really bring it to my body, and also I pray in my way that those physical ingredients to really nurture my physical body and all my bodies. I noticed a long time how important is to have this moment of pausing and of prayer, let's call it, like a ritual, small ritual, before anything, before eating, and also before anything, including doing a presentation at the job or anything, getting outside the home, outside our house, anything. But now coming back to these solar plexus and to how we eat, what and how we eat. Because in my case, I noticed that actually I'm simplifying somehow my digestion, because sometimes I'm not putting all my attention and all my availability and all my presence to the food or to the act of eating. But rather I'm just distributing my attention to some other things, and I'm getting up and just bringing some other thing on the table and on the plate, and then just sitting down again and then getting up again and something like that. And then I realized, and I was like, oh, what am I doing? I mean, so it is so important also the how. The what definitely, but the how also. And one more thing, just to complete my share, maybe I will speak a little bit after Shannon. I find a connection between our topic and the digestion. So how we digest food, but also how we digest different experiences of our life. How do we use to digest? Because this is quintessential really for our health, for our evolution, for our awareness, and for the cleanness of our solar plexus. and of the whole organism and of the whole system. But speaking about the solar system, solar plexus, it's so, so, so important for maintaining that space clean in a holistic, from a holistic view. So thank you so much, Thierry. If you feel to just add something afterwards or now, but please do. If not, please, in any time, you may come and you may complete. So these are so vast topics and so important for us all. So I'm so glad that you opened the topic. Thank you again. I will close the mic now, so if you would like to say something, Thierry, please do so. And if not, we will let Shannon to speak, as you prefer.
Well, thank you, Claudia. I just, in my gene keys, I have the 60.3 as my life work. So it's the limitation and change. My evolution is the 56.3, which is kind of I'm walking the road of transformation. And then my radiance is the 50.5. So I feel a lot of pressure through that to create change. And my purpose is the 3.5, which also feels like a lot of pressure to innovate and find new ways. And my SQ is the 1.4, and my vocation is a 7.4. So, I mean, when I look at all those, I've always felt this way, but when I look at all my gene keys, I can't help but feel like, you know, I have to do something. I have to find a way, and I have to be a leader or help, you know, with what's going on. So that's all I want to add. Go ahead, Shannon.
Just a little bit, Shannon. Just a little bit. Excuse me, please. Apology, Thierry. And you are bringing the change. Definitely, you are bringing the change because you. I mean, it's not. You do not have a choice. By your design, you bring change. And if you have this 3-5 profile, you know, it's like trial and error continuously. And by having this 60 at your life work, you are here in order to really bring new versions of a system. You are continuously opening through a system, a new version of that system, and a new version of that system, and so on. So this is your way of really functioning and of shining. This is how you shine, actually. Even you may change completely a system. You discover how. I mean, you are made to discover how. So you only have to be so gentle with you from those line 4 in the SQ and invocation. You just allow yourself to do it with gentleness, you know, and sweetness, yeah, and with a heart open. I'm sure that you do, because I feel it. Definitely, you do it with a heart open and more open and more open and more open. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing from your profile. And Shannon, excuse me again. Please, now the mic is yours.
Well, hello, and it's been beautiful to hear your shares, and I agree with you. There's just so much, you know, corruption in the world, and there's so many distractions that prevent me really taking the time to go within and do the work I need to do on myself. And so I appreciate your effort and will to want to create that change. That's such a beautiful thing. And Octavian, I didn't get to hear everything that you said, but you were I did hear a little bit at the end about solutions, and I think everyone's solution is just going to be different based on how they process the information. For me, anyways, because I've noticed working with a certain group that that everyone's just made differently, and everyone processes things in a different way, and everyone's had different experiences. And Claudia, I love how you were talking about listening to the self, because I've recently been a part of a very intensive group of women who were dealing with trauma in our life, and a lot of that trauma has come from the result of someone in our life having an addiction. And I think when you deal with that for so long, you look for every single avenue to find some sort of peace or normalcy, because with trauma comes and being unclear of what is being told to you is real or not real. And you really have, and I found that I really had to dive into my own personal self. And thank goodness the timing is just perfect. It's divine timing that I'm working on the Venus sequence. And so one of the things that I realized in working with this group is that because of the work that I've done, a lot of personal work on myself, where a lot of these other women maybe just have discovered the trauma or are realizing what's going on. And one of the things I practiced was just practicing detachment from the outcome. And I noticed that a lot of other people in the group, they were going into this immediate reactive phase, and they were scouring through things to find out, what they haven't been told by the person in their life that, has this addiction. That it's a very difficult process to go through. And I really did let go of the detachment, and I felt so much calmer going through this process. And then we were just talking in our group, and I realized I was just going to not try and control the situation. I was going to let it unfold in front of me, and things would come before me, and I would just be like, okay, well, maybe that could be part of my the recovery portion of this, or maybe it's not. I'm going to acknowledge it and let it go. And then what I found is that by doing that and letting go of the attachment of the outcome, all of a sudden someone said something, and there was this trigger. It was like a cascade of emotional clarity. And it was like, bing, bing, bing. I know I can do this to support this person. And I feel comfortable and I feel at peace doing this. And I don't feel like I'm putting myself or my inner world in jeopardy. And I find that now that I've started that process, that I'm able to have more intimate conversations with this person, and I am able to let go of my own fear of intimacy and being vulnerable. I can just explain to them exactly how I feel, and as I'm learning through this process, I just find so much grace and compassion in that. And I guess that is I'm complete with what I just said. Thank you.
Wow, Shannon, thank you so much for coming and share this. Wow, so valuable and so. Ooh, I feel deeply touched, because it is so important to speak about this topic. How do you tell to the other about how he, she makes you feel? This is so sensible and also so important for how we build relationship. I noticed in my case as well how many times I really have not expressed the real way I was feeling inside. I was just saying another thing. I was expressing another thing. And the other person never knew how I was feeling inside, including in intimacy. So this is so important, especially when somebody really needs trauma, knows that it is in a moment when she reminds or remembers the trauma. So more sensibility, even more sensibility in those moments. So yes, it's so important to just be sincere, yes, but with ourselves, but also to let the other know how we feel, exactly how you expressed. Yes. So in this case, how do we listen to the answers? Wow, it becomes even more complex for these kind of situations of trauma and of open wounds. How do we listen to the answers? We may speak days and nights and days and nights about it. Thank you so much, Shannon, for your share. Octav, I let you just add anything that you feel to. And any one of you who feel inspired to come, please come here with us on the stage to share further. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia, and thank you, Shannon, for sharing with us. I really loved, and it kind of stuck with me what you said about detaching from the outcome. That's a very valuable lesson that you shared with us. So thank you for that, and of course for everything else that you shared. Claudia, and of course Shannon, I loved how you talked about listening when trauma responses are activated. And indeed, that's a very interesting topic, and for me at least, when trauma is activated, the part of me that listens is kind of put behind. It's kind of shut down, and it's not that I listen anymore. I just react from that trauma. It's a trauma response. So yeah, these are very deep areas that probably most of us work with and need to work with, of course. There is one thing that I wanted to add to Claudia and Thierry's discussion about the digestion and the solar plexus. So for me, digestion is very, very close to alchemy, to the internal alchemy. So I found myself in times when I felt that my body needed a detox, that digestion was happening slower. So when I looked upon the general themes happening at that point in my life, I saw that there's something that I was struggling to process, to integrate maybe, and that was a very very valuable lesson for me at that point, and it still is. I wanted to discuss also about the day-to-day answers from life. It's more like a biofeedback, and I'm talking about our environment when it answers to us, our people, our closed ones, or just people that we get to interact with. I see those interactions as some sort of answers, not in the old-fashioned way of when you think of an answer, but this biofeedback is very important. It's like an answer to me, and I analyzed a lot of events in my life that turned out to be heavy or important events that maybe took me low in low places, and kind of slapped me in the face. So I analyzed them, and I realized that for each and every one of those events, those moments in my life, life came to me initially and whispered the answer gently, softly. But as Claudia said, maybe I wasn't ready to receive it, or I was refusing to receive it because it was unbearable. And then life came back and said it a bit louder, and then it came back and a bit louder, and until it came and slapped me in the face with the answer, and it hurt, of course. So yeah, it's very important, as Shannon also mentioned, that we are very different in how we process and we receive information, we receive the environment, and it really does depend on our design and how we are built and educated and used to process and deal with stuff like that. But it's also interesting, at least in retrospective, when another option is not available. It's very interesting to analyze that life's answer kind of comes from soft to hard. It's just it just depends on us if we are ready and willing to get those answers, those soft answers, before they become, like I said, slap in the face. Thank you all for listening, and Claudia, if you feel like, or Thierry, I see Thierry unmuting, so Thierry, please go ahead.
Yeah, while you were talking, Octavian, I really felt drawn to the PHS, and my answers has come through. Some of us has the valley, some of us have the mountain. My answer came through that, so I don't know if that's any helpful for anyone else, but I felt like that was really helpful for my answers. Just want to add that real quickly in there. Maybe it can inspire some other contemplations for you and for everyone here.
Thank you, Thierry. Thank you so much, and thank you, Octav, as well. Oh, I feel more to listen than to speak, actually. It happens to me, maybe some of you who come in various spaces, some opened through me, some others just being a host, for example, in Jinkies Global rooms. It happens to me to really, feel so deep the vibration of the space. And this is one of these moments. I do not feel to speak so much. But I would like to add something that comes actually from all the shares, and also when you, Shannon, pronounced this experience that you have now that you are in the Venus sequence with the Jinkies transmission. When we come to this EQ sphere, emotional intelligence, sphere, and where we become even more aware about our emotional maturity. We just become more considerate. We feel that our capacity to listen grows, really. Inner listening, but also outer listening to the others, and the consideration to the other grows. So we become more aware of how we speak also to the others, because we understand, as you said, Shannon, before, that each of us listens in a different way and receives in a different way. So we become more aware of how we are going to be received. And we become more aware of how do we just transmit, what impact do we have or may we have on the other's listening, on the other's digestion, on the other's functioning, on the other's awareness, on the other's life. So this is also so valuable, because that slow down that we all need, bring more space and more space and more space in our life, in our bodies, but also in the others' life and bodies, and in the relationship with the others, is so valuable. And we come to that point when we realize that maybe not the quantity is the most important, the quality is the most important, not many words, but the vibration of the words and the key message that actually is transmitted through us. So we become aware of that. And this is really such a shift and such a leap in our maturity. And I don't know how you feel it, how you all feel it, but I feel it in my solar plexus. Whenever I come to this point when this maturity grows a bit, I feel it into my solar plexus. So I feel more grounded there. I feel safer there. But also I feel that slow down. And as I told you before, I do not feel to speak so much. I feel more to listen and to open this space of being a listener than a speaker. So thank you so much to all of you. And yes, please, Thierry.
I'm feeling the invitation. So I'm going to step forward and talk a little bit about some of the contemplations that I've been going through, and maybe this can be fruitful for some of your contemplations as well. So I've been looking at all the circuitry, and it's come to my realization that we're all essentially made up of individual, tribal, and collective circuitry. And when we ignore the individual, or we ignore the collective, which I kind of see it as everything like the nature and animals and plants, and when we ignore the tribe, our own tribe, we're essentially ignoring parts of the population that have those channels or have those gates. And that's kind of the source of why we're not in harmony, because the harmony is when we find the middle ground between all three. You know, when we take a decision, the answer is not going to be the same if we take a decision based on the individual need. If we take a decision based off of the tribal need, our answers might be a little bit different. And so is the case with taking a decision based off of the collective priority. And the answer is going to be different in all three situations. And so the trick, or the what we're trying to achieve, maybe, or what I feel might be a good goal, is to find equilibrium, between all three, and not prioritize one over the other. And I feel like in the past, maybe that's what happened. A lot of the time, we were prioritizing the tribe over the individual, and that's created, a lot of resentment in the individual circuitry within our population, within the collective. And that individual circuitry being ignored for so long, and the resentment is throwing us out of balance, and now we're maybe going the other way, where we're just, maybe, emphasizing maybe the individual too much and the tribal not enough, or vice versa. For a very long time we were ignoring the collective completely. So I want to offer these words to you and to everyone that's going to listen to this Clubhouse in the future, to contemplate and maybe to feel into, because I find that some of the solutions that are arriving for me have come out of this contemplation. So I don't know if anyone has anything to add to that, but I certainly would love to listen to perhaps what you guys feel through that transmission, if you want to call it that.
Thierry, thank you so much. Wow. I love the perspective that you brought, and I feel the truth in it. And it is very valuable. And please, if it's possible for you, do come this Thursday when we are going to have the Jinkies and the Solar Plexus room where I will host this Thursday. Maybe we can speak about it as well, if you would like to bring it to the stage as well. It's true. We are continuously seeking. Actually, we are seeking, I believe, the center in this triangle, in this triad of perspectives, individual, tribal, and collective. We are continuously seeking it, and I could feel your Jinky 50, from your radiance when you spoke, because it's about harmony. It's really about harmony between perspectives. And thank you so much for bringing it here, in this room, in this space, in this moment, for all of us. Because yes, it's true. All the three perspectives are in us. But by bringing it here, we just, we became more aware in terms of the others, of the design of the others as well. I discovered in my life that actually the key is in the middle, is in the center. But we may touch the center when we really accept, allow, and embrace all the possibilities, all the perspectives. And when we do not limit ourselves, when we do not focus only on one, for example, in this case, only on the collective, yes, we are all going towards the collective because we are all one and we are interconnected, and the conscious leap stays with the collective. It's not only the collective, it's the individual as well. And the tribe remains, and it will remain for a long time also, this perspective. So bringing the three, yes, in the center, actually. So whenever we remember, in a day-by-day situation, like Octav said before, in a day-by-day situation, in our family, how do we bring the three perspectives in a discussion in our family? Between two parents who are quarreling instead of the children, maybe. Or maybe during the holidays, when we decide where to go for the dinner, and when we choose the place, or when we are at our job and we are in a negotiation meeting, or yes, so how do we touch the center? By practice. We practice continuously. We will remember. In some moments we don't remember. Maybe in some moments we'll be fixated only to one perspective. But then we will remember, and then we will remember more, and we will remember more, until we really become more open and more open. Yeah. So thank you so much, Thierry. It's so precious. Octav, do you have anything before inviting Olivia to speak, as we have her on the stage with us?
Yes. Thank you, Claudia, and thank you, Thierry, for sharing your contemplation. It's a very practical contemplation. I feel it very practical, and it applies also to myself. And I guess that this is something that I contemplate while I make decisions. So these three perspectives that you brought are, I'm very happy, and I want to thank you for naming them, because it's a bit more clear for me now that all three perspectives are needed. And yeah, I think that the way things work for us, humanity, before we reach balance, we explore the extremes. So we go to the left and to the right, or up and down, until it's extreme. And after that, we settle for balance. We understand what balance is. And I think it's natural. It's only natural because, as I just said, in order to know what balance is, this is something that we have to go through, probably, at this point. This is also my eighth third line from Human Design speaking, so I have 8 third lines in my profile. So yeah, the third line is trial and error, but by seeing how things work for me, and also for the tribe, and for our civilization and species, it kind of looks like we are going to the extremes first, and then we understand the value of balance and what balance actually means. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for listening to me. Olivia, back to you, and thank you for joining us.
Hi, sweet people. Thank you. I'm sorry I missed earlier, but I will go back and listen to replays, and I don't do that much, but this, the vibration and what you all offer is just very valuable and true and powerful and purposeful and needed and appreciated by me. So, oh goodness, so much depth already that I've just heard, even just coming in now. I just want to say thank you to what I've heard, because the perceptions and sensitivity and contemplation and caring that I hear when you all are sharing is what I value so much, and what I aim to, live and share too, is just that caring, that authentic connection to our life and how we work with it and why, and becoming more intimate with it, and then being able to share that and listen and learn from life and from one another to weave together in more harmony. So many things, I could share. The thing that spoke to me initially was when Claudia was speaking, and just the vibration of the self-reflection with our impact is a huge piece, and really about what my experience is with myself in beauty and in pain, and then my caring is about in life in the same way. And so I'm just experiencing such a humbling empowerment. These coined phrases that many of us connect to and create and come up with that express our truth. And it's, a tagline, if you will, humble empowerment, that I use in my work and my life. And I'm very much experiencing myself going through that right now. And it is about, the voice. And for me, it's listening and feeling to the messages that life invites me to be honest and to listen to and to receive. And so they've, the painful ones that I've been experiencing, that are lessons that I just celebrate and bow to and have done my best with and am doing more with now. And so I just would like to share that I find it incredibly an incredibly self-loving and life-loving experience to be present with the pain that I experience in myself and that I experience in the world, to learn to serve it more tenderly. Yeah, more tenderly. And so that's the core of the message and the beauty that I'm being invited to embody and to share and to live and to know myself as. So I just offer that as, a beautiful reflection for me, is the power of our impact. When you said that, Claudia, and just receiving such modeling from you and others in my life at the power of tenderness and receptivity, and that we all need, and that beauty, that honesty of being a loving presence for others and accepting them where they are without judgment, without shame or expectation for them to be anywhere else, is maybe so obvious and yet so needed and so beautiful when I see that, experience that, listen to that, and witness that being offered from other people. It's very healing to see that modeled in other people, and to know that I have that capacity at times, and that I live that way at times, and that there's been, through my gene keys, through my lessons and my lineage, through my parents and these things that I track, and this acknowledgement inside my own body of this fierceness and this strength, that it is my job, my soul work and my honor to continue to learn to love that clearly, the way other people are modeling that for me, and to be reminded of the power and the impact of my voice and my choices and my thoughts and my actions when I'm not in that place of unconditional love and support. And so whether that's with an individual that I'm with or the collective, the world, my experience has been one that has brought my high ideals into a place of trusting being the love that I seek, and knowing that that impact is the highest form. And yet through my Chiron return and other, experiences, I was brought into, painful reminders of a lack of clarity or honesty in the world, that then touched on those painful things inside me and brought up my shadow in response. And so that's what I'm moving through now, and seeing my own impact and seeing my own sensitivity that may be true into what I see and feel with people, but then my judgment and my desire to serve them, or my inability to serve them, and feeling frustrated or in pain because others don't or can't or aren't meant to receive the beauty that I think is valuable. So I hope this has made sense. I know I've gone on a bit of a spiral. I was trying to ground it in something linear a little bit in my own process of, elevating my ability to serve my soul purpose, by being in these humble spaces of self-reflection of my own impact, and bringing my commitment and my caring into being sensitively tuned to validating what I feel and what I see is true and needed, and then choosing to share words and actions that are compassionate and accepting and supportive of everyone being wherever they are and whoever they are in the way they're meant to, and trusting myself to serve those that I connect with, and that I choose to connect with and serve. So thank you for hearing me and inspiring me and modeling for me the beauty of this energy and all the shares that I've heard, and just the energy that you all offer and create with. I'm so blessed by it. We all are. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia, dear. Bless you. Thank you for being open to receive and be received by all those whom you touch, wherever you go. And thank you for the purity that you bring here also with us and to us all. Thank you so much for the fluidity of your share. And yes, thank you all for the vibration that we all have with us now. It's something so beautiful and so nurturing and healing, yes, so healing. So we have Sarah with us. I'm so glad that you came here on the stage. I would pass the mic to you. Octav, are you okay with that?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, so please, Sarah, the mic is yours.
Thank you so much. So I just wanted to share a little bit about an experience I'm having right now that's just opened up just huge blessings in my life. And
Sarah, dear, Sarah,
Yeah.
can you make your mic a little bit louder?
Yeah, is that better?
a bit. Can you make it even louder?
How's that?
Or, let's see.
Let me leave and I'll come back.
Okay, let's try. Yeah, because it's unstable and we cannot hear you very well. Okay, let's see. She will come back. Yeah. Sometimes the connection plays a little bit, but it's part of the game, of the dance. Yes. Hmm. So we started with the topic, how do we listen the answers? And yeah, the transmission is so generous that we danced with the topic. Yes, Sarah, so let's see now.
All right. Is this better?
Oh, yes, better. Now it's better. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I was wanting to talk a little bit about an experience I'm having right now with my older sister. She's 5 years older than me, and so the family I grew up. This has to do with my birth tribe, I guess, and I'm kind of going off the comment. I think it was made by Shannon about letting go of the outcome, and so that's kind of what brought this experience up for me. So my older sister's 5 years older than me. We, as far as the family that we grew up with, there's 10 kids. There were 4 boys, 4 girls, and 2 boys. And so she was the oldest sister, and I was the youngest sister. And she showed up for me when I was leaving when I woke up in my marriage and realized what was going on. And as I was leaving, she really stepped in and helped me just be able to function daily as I was processing the trauma. But as far as our spiritual path, my family's kind of gone in their own direction over the last 20 plus years. And we've just within the siblings, we've really been able to work together and find a place where we can communicate and pull together despite the differences of, our spiritual path that we're on. And so with me just diving into this healing and just really trying to find who I am and how to express myself in life, I've been in contact with my siblings just online. We have an app that we use. And so, but as far as physically seeing them, I've really kept my distance, just really trying to protect my energy. I've just given it away my whole life. And I just needed this space to understand who I am. And so it's been a few years of me protecting my space. And Jennifer, my sister, she lives about 3 hours away from me. I live up in the pine trees where it's cooler. She kind of lives in the heat of the valley here in Arizona. And so she texted me last week and asked if she could just come spend the night with me. And I've been in this home for 1.5 years, and I haven't had anybody come. I've really protected this space. It's so special to me. And I really felt it was time to just, breathe into this and see if it's time for me to open up a little bit. And right away I felt like she's a good person. I trust her to come in. She's seen me at my very worst. So anything she sees now is better than what she last saw. And so I just really felt like this is a good time to open. And I felt like there was even something more, like she was in need of communicating something to me because she doesn't usually do this. And anyway, she's come up here, and it's just led to the most beautiful timelessness couple of days that we've ever had. And she has been asking me what I'm doing and how I'm making these changes, and she's seeing it and she's making her own. Like this conversation I've had with her just yesterday, like she's awakening, truly awakening to our family and what we've been going through, and you know, all the patriarchy work I'm doing for our family. She's a part of that. She gets it when I explain it to her. And it's just really brought this connection to us, and all of a sudden, in such a deeper way than I've ever experienced with siblings. And she's going through transition in her life. She's not sure what to do next. She has kids that are going on their own adventures, and she has a boyfriend that is afraid to commit, but he's so wanting to be with her, and they make each other happy. And she just came to talk to me about all that. And during our conversation, like, it really opened up. I felt like she was needing to come stay with me temporary while she decided what to do next. And that was a huge opening for me. And she felt it, and it just naturally came up in the conversation. And what was really cool about it is I was just able to say, Jennifer, you know, I don't usually open to this. I will open, but I need you to go home, and I need some time to just consider it on my own, so I make sure I'm making the best choice for me, because I needed to do that now. And she got it, and she's like, yeah, Sarah, I've never done this before either, and she hasn't. She's been just very independent, but it feels right, and it's all unfolding perfectly, and I'm just so grateful. Like, this is a different way for me to experience an intimate, close relationship. Is just to not know the outcome, to be able to discuss possibilities that may help both of us significantly, but to be able to keep it open and let it unfold naturally and trust that, and to have us on that same page together just feels so powerful. And I feel like she is going to be a big part of like healing this patriarchy in our family. And anyway, I'm so grateful. I just wanted to share the success I'm having in my relationships. So thank you for listening.
Wow, Sarah. Wow. What a leap. What a shift. What a gift. How much grace. Wow. My goodness me. Thank you so much for bringing this here, for sharing this. I'm so glad for you and for your sister. Oh, I send you a warm hug. Please receive it and give it to your sister as well. This is something amazingly beautiful, and I empathize with you, and I feel you, I receive you. I would say it's because this is the expression. I know how it is, even though I don't know how it is, because it's not my experience, it's yours. But I feel deeply how it is, because I also have experienced inside my family with people whom I love so much and who have not received my way of being, my rhythm of evolution, my path, my way, the tools I'm working, and so on. And I know how it is in these moments when really the connection is there. And when this recognition, really, it's like your souls, now they recognized fully. And I feel it so deeply, and it's huge. And I congratulate you for your response, for how you responded, and for exactly how I told to Shannon before. I mean, for having the courage to let your sister know that you still need the space to really complete the decision. This is huge. This is so brave from you. And so, I mean, you are so honest with you and with your sister. And this is really so valuable. It's a huge leap. So congratulations from my side, and thank you for bringing your story here, and good luck in the further steps in the relationship with her and with the whole family.
Thank you, Claudia. You know, you saying we finally truly, our souls finally truly like know each other here on this plane. That's it. That's the moment that I felt like we've known each other our whole life, but now it's so much clearer and bigger, and it's just amazing. And you know, she's there too. She's willing to step into this, and she's never made decisions this way. She's been very responsible and working hard to be a single mom. And now she's wanting to drop a really good job she has, well paid, that's comfortable, but she does not like it. And she's coming to a point where she's ready to break from the old. And so it's her too, like just both of us stepping into this moment that is truly, it truly is grace. And I feel like it's happening in order to help move this energy here. And I'm so grateful for all the help, like on the physical plane, but also the unseen, the ancestors and all those who want this energy, this shift to happen. You know, there's so much support all around us. I'm glad I've been able to find that awareness. It's really changed my life. But thank you, Claudia, for your words. They help me so much and expand my mind even more and my heart even more. So thank you.
You are welcome with so much joy. So what a beautiful way of closing the space today. Actually, it will not close. We know that actually these spaces do not close. They just enter into a pause. And until next time, in 2 weeks' time, we will be pausing, and then we will be back again and share again. And we need pauses, yes. So thank you so much, Sarah, and thank you to all of you. Thank you, Thierry. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you, Shannon. Maybe she disconnected a bit. And thank you to all of you who are listening, Daniela, Dorota, Kate, Muriel, Andrada as well. And for all those beautiful souls who will listen afterwards, please do share if you feel comfortable to share the link of this room for next meetings, and enjoy every saint moment of your life. Enjoy this day of Sunday, and thank you, Octav, so much. I let you to close the room with your final message.
Thank you. Wow, what you just shared, Sarah, it was, I mean, you actually spoke to my soul, and I'm in a process right now, a very strong process with my sister. I love her. She's very important to me, but we never had a soul to soul connection until now. I mean, we kind of grew differently, and we haven't actually got the chance to really open up to one to another. So while you were sharing this story and I was listening to your story, it took me a bit down the road with my sister, and she actually visited. She lives in another city. She actually visited me Friday, and she stayed with her beautiful family for one night, and I loved having her. And I wanted so much to speak to her and see how she feels, but you know, every time we started to talk, we kind of went into the default topics and default answers, and you know, they were pretty robotic. But thank you for sharing this and inspiring me. I really to share stories from our life. They are very powerful for me. And yeah, I will consider and reconsider how I can learn to open up to my sister as well. So thank you again, Sarah. Whew, what a session we had today. we started from how do we listen to answers, and we are closing on intimacy and relationships. So I just want to thank you all for being here with us. The ones that opened, the ones that were able to come with us from the beginning, the ones that are just coming with us, or the ones that are listening to this afterwards. We are very happy and grateful for your presence here. This field is I don't know, it's very lucky to have you here, and I feel very lucky to be here with you and to have the chance of sharing myself and sharing my voice and holding space for everyone to do the same. So, thank you. We're going to leave the room open for a few minutes if you want to follow anyone, or just want to look at them and connect with them. And after that, we will close the room, and hopefully we will get to meet each other again next time, in 2 weeks' time in English. And of course, there are other rooms for Hara Center, and we invite you to explore them and join them, even if it's a different language. Just tune in to the frequency, and I'm sure that you will find something there that will help. So thank you everyone for being with us, and I wish to you all blissful and soft Sunday. Bye.
Thank you all. Bless you. I will let the room open for a few minutes, just in silence. And then let's stay connected on a subtle plane. Lots of love.